one soul ring.
If my name was Larry, I'd have people call me Layer.
Like layer.
And then I have to spell it like layer, like, a secret layer. All right, folks.
Not like Layer, like a layer of a cake. Or an
Oh,
onion.
that's good too.
Yeah.
A secret layer. Your layer could have different layers. Are we getting too meta with this?
Oh my god.
I think we're getting a little too.
Oh boy.
I do love a good piece of cake, though. Let me tell you.
Sure.
Well, folks, we're doing a bonus episode for you today. It's Friday, and you're listening to Turn One Soul Ring. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Eric.
And today on this special bonus episode, we are going to talk about something very near and dear to your hearts, which is Theros Beyond Death. It's still the hot new standard set.
Hot on the heels of the release.
That's right. We did a set
month
review.
later.
That's right. Yeah. The EV is in the toilet.
Yeah.
We did a set review, as our longtime listeners know. And today we're doing something. We're going to be talking about the cards and their sort of fun synergies. These new card synergies with cards in the set, and also synergies with other cards.
Yeah. Multiple formats as well.
Multiple formats, yeah. Well, we're a multiple format podcast.
If you haven't noticed.
Yeah.
Or if you're a first time listener, this is what we do.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think we've only done one. Have we only done one episode where we talked about, where we sort of teched decks from other format? I think it was our Reanimator archetype episode where we talked about Pioneer and Pauper with Reanimator as an archetype.
I think so.
Otherwise, all our deck techs are Commander. Oh, no, because we've done Oathbreaker. We've done Brawl.
We've done Oathbreaker. We have done a Brawl episode.
Yeah. God, we sound like idiots. We're like, can you guys get to the shit here?
Yeah. We talk about our own show.
So Eric has kindly gone to the trouble of compiling this fun list of synergies. But first, we're going to talk about a little bit of Magic news.
Also related to Theros.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Sort of. OG Theros.
OG Theros,
Yeah.
yeah. So this is a product that we've talked about before. There was another secret layer that had come out.
That's
And
right.
This secret layer was interesting. I like how they did this one. So it started on the Friday and went to the Sunday. And it was just like for the Magic Championship, they had this secret layer go up, which you could also purchase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good promotion.
Yeah, it wasn't like one per
that
day
event.
or something like they did before. It was like, here's 5 of them. Here's all that we're doing. And you can purchase any 5 at any point in time.
Right.
So you have like a little longer
That's
to
nice.
decide on like what you want to do and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nice. And then you could just buy the whole bundle
Yes, you could.
together
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
If you wanted to.
And you ended up getting all 10. No, are there more than 10 gods?
9, 12. There are 15
15
gods
gods.
in total.
Yeah, well, there's more gods than that now, but
Yeah.
just these are the original Theros block gods, right?
Yeah, I think. Well,
Are they the newbies too?
there's no newbies in here, I don't think. I'm just going to open these guys up quickly. And then, so each one was $40 US.
Wow.
And that's a total of 200. But if you did get all of them, they gave it to you for 150.
That's good.
So that was a good discount. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's like more than one of them for free.
And Rob said he picked up the
Yes, our
whole
good friend Rob.
the whole bundle. Yes, our
So
good.
he picked up the $150 one. So
That's right.
see what they look like. Hopefully they're not as curled as my Serum Visions are.
Well, he knows what to do if he gets a curled card.
Yeah.
So he'll figure it out.
But in Volume 1, yeah, you get the original Heliod. And then you get Heliod, Irolas, and Karametra. Then they had a bundle that had the original Thassa, which I didn't know that card was now $30 Canadian.
Yeah, Thassa shallow dressing.
What?
Shallow
God of the Sea?
dwelling. I was
talking
trying
about
to
the
make
new
a
one?
joke, but I got tongue tied because the new ones. I'm not gonna explain it.
That's that point.
Yeah, all good. God of the
the old
Sea.
Thassa is $30. I didn't know that.
That's a great card. 3 mana, 5/5.
Yeah.
That's
it's
a great
good.
rate. Yeah. You get to scry.
Yeah.
What else does she do?
The target creature you control can't be blocked this turn for 3 mana.
Nice.
But so then you also got Thassa, Ifara, and Krufix. And then there was one that had the original Erebos with Theros, God of Passage.
Athreos. Yeah, that's the fun one.
And Fenix.
Yeah, I had a commander deck with Fenix as my commander. You remember that?
I do.
Eater of the Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was cool. First time as you were playing that, I was like, that's a cool deck. And then, of course, we get the alternate or the original Perforos with Mogus and Keranos.
So many cool cards.
And the last one came with Nylea with Xenagos and Farika.
Nice.
So it's like some of these, like they comboed them together pretty well. And of course, like none of these have like all 3 are big bombs.
Right.
But like most of them are pretty valuable still. And getting these like cool constellation arts is nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're all great commander cards. Some of them are great. Most of them are really great commanders if you want to build around them. I've dabbled with building a Mogus deck. It seems like fun.
Mm-hmm. And also that I actually really like the Xenagos. I think is a really good
commander.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Also a really good planeswalker.
Also.
So much mana.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This was a neat set. The one thing, like the art, like I understand where they're going with this whole thing, but it's like you didn't like the other sets where we had very distinctive different arts for each one. You didn't have that kind of feel this time.
Yeah.
It was more of like a one shot.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that we'll see if they keep releasing this product at this rate. Will we lose creativity as well? Because even with the rat one, Year of the Rat, some of the cards did look distinctly different, and the art, like Ink Eyes was black and white. It was a very striking art.
That one was really cool.
Yeah. So I wonder, how that's gonna kind of, all of this Gods one is right, like you said, it's just one big sort of set, and they're going with the constellation thing, and it's a whole theme. So yeah,
I think that's what they're trying to get across as well, with like launching it all 5 at the same time.
Right.
Like we're not trying something distinct. Like this is a total,
and having that kind of window to buy them all.
Yeah.
Yes, we will see what comes from the secret lair going forward.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be more.
I'm sure there will be more.
They're making money.
Yeah, they're selling product, making money, so I'm sure there's going to be more of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and they're not really affecting the price of regular single cards, so everybody's happy.
I think so. Like this, I don't think there's anything bad with this product yet.
No.
Except for like I guess like people complaining about the curling cards, but
and
that's just foils from them for a long time.
Right, and that's gotten better over the last couple of years. The card quality. I'm not talking about secret layers here.
Yeah,
but, where
the
like
card quality has gotten.
Yeah, and like Amonkhet Hour of Devastation, like that was when it was at its worst.
Yeah,
and it's gotten better since then. We still have curling issues, but Riley, who's been a guest host on the show before, he got the Year of the Rat secret lair, and he said that he had some surface scratches, surface issues.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the cards, but
we should ask him to bring them.
You can always send it back. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
that's right. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But so, and that's just like Wizards is perfectly happy to take your cards back. I mean, if you have a curling card out of a booster pack, you can send it back to them and they'll give, it's my understanding that they'll give you that same card back in, near mint condition.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Uncurled. That's my understanding. But if everybody was sending them all the curled cards they had, they might just make a better product because it'd be too expensive to ship all those cards. But I really don't know. I've never done that because, I just...
Because I know there was also an issue with the cards being damaged from that one Masters set where they decided to do the cardboard instead of
Modern Masters 2015.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, because you could do they were environmentally friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then your cards would be damaged.
Well, you can't make everybody happy. It's like, and we're certainly not going to make the people who buy this product happy.
No, that's the last bit on the list.
Yeah, I think Secret Lair is, I think I've said this before, I think it's a fine product. And if there was a Secret Lair that I was like, oh, I want that Secret Lair, I would get it. There just hasn't been one that I've been interested enough in. But, if I had my way, all my decks would just be the OG borders with the OG foils with the little shooting star. So,
You like that shooting star?
I love it. Yeah, I love original foils. Oh, they're so beautiful. They're just the best. But anyways, let's get to Theros. Let's get back to Theros. We were just talking about Theros, so let's stay. We're staying on Theros.
We're staying with the Theros.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theros only has one sphere.
Not 7.
Not 7, not 9.
So we have just over, I think there's 11 or 12 synergies.
Let's call it a dozen.
To talk about. Dozen synergies, combos, what have you. Mm-hmm. And to kick things off, I put the most general thing at the very top.
Yeah, what have we got here?
So to talk about it, because sagas themselves do have an interesting interaction in Magic. So how the sagas work, when you play them, they start with the first lore counter, and then every single upkeep, you put a lore counter on there, and then the trigger goes on the stack and such. Mm-hmm. So with your saga, if it's at the last one, because some go to level 3, some go to level 4, when it goes to that last step, when the trigger resolves, it says to do whatever and then sacrifice the enchantment.
Right.
So if you, in response to that trigger going in the stack, decide to blink the saga will not be in play. The trigger will resolve.
And there won't be anything to... So you'll get the trigger, but there won't be any sacrifice.
It'll go away. Even if it comes back to the board right away, it starts with the first lore saga on it. And then the third one says if there's like the 3 on there, you sacrifice it, but it's like, it's the different permanent. So that same permanent from lore counter isn't there anymore. So you still get that trigger.
Right.
But your saga's still around to like keep leveling up again, and you get the effects again.
So this could apply to really any saga.
Any saga, that's why.
Yeah.
Any saga out there, even before Theros, so the ones from Dominaria as well, you can do this with 2.
Yeah, I guess they haven't done it that many times.
No, just the 2 sets.
Just 2. But the card you put here, the saga you chose is Kiora Best the Sea God, which is 5 and 2 blue for a enchantment saga. The first part is create an 8/8 blue Kraken creature token with hexproof. The second is tap all non-land permanents target opponent controls. They don't untap during their controller's next untap step. And the third is gain control of target permanent and opponent controls. Untap it.
Woo. And so in Standard, you can do that. And then also use the next card I have there.
You got Teferi's Time Twist.
Yeah.
Do you remember Twists? The old Dutch chip. They're in a big blue bag.
Oh, yeah, totally. Those are still around.
I know they're still around. Yeah. I hate them. They're just like you can have a couple and they're fine, but
I haven't had them in a while, but I think whenever I eat them, I like them.
I just start to feel sick after a while. It's like, well, Kevin, don't eat the whole bag.
Yeah, that's your problem.
But I just can't stop. Okay, so we have Teferi's Time Twist. It's 1 and a blue for an instant. Exile target permanent you control. Return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of the next end step. If it enters the battlefield as a creature, it enters with an additional 1/1 counter on it. They also should have put if it enters the battlefield as a planeswalker, put an additional loyalty counter on it.
Yeah, come on.
It's War of the Spark.
What are you doing?
Come on. I almost said it's Lore of the Spark.
Hey. But yeah, so I really like that because once that comes back at the beginning of your end step, you're getting another Kraken with the Sea God enchantment. Good value.
Chaos Draft?
Yeah.
That would be a good combo. Release the Kraken.
Yeah. But yeah, that's actually a little combo that you can do in Standard. So if you're playing on Arena, it's a nice little...
Yeah, give it a try.
Yeah.
Let us know what happens.
Yeah. So next up, the most talked about card. People are talking about the combo and Pioneer if it's going to get banned right away or not. So we have Heliod Suncrowned, and he combos with Ballista, just doing infinite damage right away. I just heard a lot of people talking about that, so I wasn't really going to get into too much detail.
Yeah, and I'm sure we mentioned it.
I think we did too already.
Yeah.
But yeah, with that, there is also another little combo you can do with the card named Spike Feeder to get yourself infinite health.
So, in case you don't know, Helioid Sun Crowned is 2 and a white for a legendary enchantment creature god, a 5/5 with indestructible. As long as your devotion to white is less than 5, Helioid isn't a creature. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature or enchantment you control, and you can pay 1 and a white. Another target creature gains lifelink until end of turn. And we got Spike Feeder.
Yeah.
I like this card.
It's a cool card.
It's also what you call somebody who's mean.
A spike.
Spike Feeder is 1 and 2 green for a 0/0 spike. Spike Feeder comes into play with 2 1/1 counters on it. You can pay 2 and remove a 1/1 counter from Spike Feeder, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, and you can remove a 1/1 counter from Spike Feeder, and you gain 2 life. Is that infinite counters?
So you remove a counter, gain 2 life. Heliod says whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. So you take a counter off, and then with Heliod, you put a counter back on. Take counter off, put a counter on.
Infinite life.
Infinite life.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't go wrong there.
No, and so if you do put this in a deck, like it is actually infinite health once you have this out. So a lot of decks have problems dealing with infinite health. 'Cause
Yeah, unless you're playing a mill strategy or Voltron strategy, that can be difficult to deal with.
yeah, so it is a nice little, it is definitely a combo you can throw into your commander decks. This is also a combo that you can play in Modern.
Is Spike Feeder Modern legal?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, going back to Helioid Suncrown getting banned in Pioneer, I think it's more likely that Walking Ballista would get banned just from a sales perspective.
Yeah.
Right? Like nobody's buying packs of Aether Revolt,
Yeah, I think so.
but people are, Theros is the new set. It's not good for them from a sales perspective for standard cards to get banned.
Exactly. So that's probably why they don't want to do that.
Probably.
But also, we haven't seen that deck go rampant online or anything.
No, of course not.
So
Yeah, and there hasn't been a banned. Nothing's been banned in the last few weeks.
yeah,
In Pioneer, so
seems to be going okay.
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. Which one was this? So next up, I have the Dawn Evangel. So I'll just read this card quickly.
Yeah, read it out.
2 of anything and a white for a 2/3 enchantment creature. Whenever a creature dies, if an aura you controlled was attached to it, return target creature card with CMC 2 or less from your graveyard to your hand. So you can do some fun things with this. With certain enchantments like Rancor, you can just keep bringing everything back each turn, and then find a cool 2 CMC card like Burglar Rat, Darkside, Extortionist, Knight of the White Orchid, just to name a few. And then even in Standard, we have a little combo stuff with things like Sentinel's Eyes and Charming Prince. So Rancor works really well because it just keeps coming back if you want to read that guy.
Right, Rancor. Yeah. No, the links weren't working for me, so it's
it's all good.
going on Card Kingdom and just being a weirdo.
Oh, okay.
Rancor is 1 green for an aura enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. And when Rancor is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, return Rancor to its owner's hand. Hatred outlives hateful.
Yeah.
Nice. Love it. What a great card.
So Rancor comes back to your hand. Dawn Evangel brings back a 2 CMC card, and you just replay that stuff.
That's right.
Keep going.
Keep it going. Charming Prince, also solid card.
Yeah. But so Burglar Rat, whenever it enters the battlefield, your opponent's discard a card. So
That's
Rancor in there.
that's bad.
Yeah. So you just keep making people discard cards. Dockside Extortionist for some extra mana, because that's the one when it enters. You just get an artifact for each artifact or enchantment in your opponent's control.
Yeah, you get a treasure.
You get a treasure sorry.
token.
Yeah. And Knight of the White Orchid for a little bit of mana ramp for your white-green deck.
Yeah, as long as you have less lands.
As long as you have less lands.
Right? That's the one?
Yeah.
There's another one. There's a 3 and a white creature that gets you. It's like Core Cartographer, and it gets you up planes onto the battlefield. And you don't have to have fewer lands. It just gets you a planes or a basic land. I'm just gonna look it up now because I've said it, and I don't want there to be any confusion for our lovely listeners. Core Cartographer, 3 and a white for a 2/2 Core Scout. When Core Cartographer enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a Plains card, so you can get duels, put it onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. That's pretty good. How often does that happen in white?
Not much.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
It's from, this is a dual deck printing, but I think it's from Zendikar. Or from that block, anyway.
Nice.
But, well, let's get on to the next one.
Cool. So next up we have the Nadir Kraken. This is a fun card. And so Nadir Kraken itself reads, it is a 1/1, or it's a 2/3 Kraken, and you pay 1 and 2 blue to get it on the battlefield.
It's a super small Kraken, by the way.
Pretty small. It's only a 2/3.
You're not going to be like, release the Kraken for this one. It's a little small.
Even though the card looks like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Bunch of ships just going into its mouth.
It's scary.
So the card reads, whenever you draw a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on Nadir Kraken and create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. So really, we want to find something that works with that keyword quite well.
Yeah.
And so there's a little fun combo you can do. It starts off with the card Kindred Discovery.
Yeah, Kindred Discovery is 3 and 2 blue for an enchantment. As Kindred Discovery enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, probably Kraken.
Yep.
Whenever a creature you control of the chosen type enters the battlefield or attacks, draw a card.
So now we have the Krakens entering. We can pay 1. So now we have that loop happening. But now we want to have infinite mana somehow.
That's right.
And so we can do that with 2 different cards. We got Mana Echoes, and we have Ashnod's Altar.
Yeah. Do you want to read Mana Echoes?
Sure. So Mana Echoes, it's 2 of anything and 2 red for an enchantment. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, you may add an amount of colorless equal to the number of creatures you control that share a creature type with it. So this gets...
Yeah, the first one gets you 1, or the first one will get you 2 because you have Nadir.
Yeah.
And then it just snowballs from there.
Yeah, you get 3, you get 4. You can always pay, always make a thing.
Yeah,
You'll go through your whole deck.
Yeah.
And have...
You draw your whole deck as well.
A ton of mana.
Oh, yeah. Go through your whole deck. Obviously, that's what you meant. And Ashnod's Altar is a 3 mana artifact. Sacrifice a creature, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool.
So you are getting rid of the creatures, but you're netting a mana as well that way. So
Yeah, absolutely. And you're also making the Nadir Kraken bigger every time because you have that extra mana if you want to use it for that.
Well, you do need to use the mana. The mana puts the counter on and makes the token.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he's getting bigger all this while as well. You just have a big beater in there. So, but yeah, that's a fun little combo. It gets you through. You go through your whole deck, draw your whole deck. So if you need another way to do that, you can put this in the deck there.
Yeah, nobody's gonna get too sour about it because that's a bunch
3-card combo,
and it's like 5, 4, 3 CMC. Then Nadir Kraken's also 3 CMC.
So you're not gonna be doing it anytime soon. Like, yeah. So someone sees that, I'd be like, nice.
Yeah, you're having a big turn there. Yeah. I like it.
Alrighty, so next up, we have Thassa Deep Dwelling. So obviously this can go well with anything that blinks. Because Thassa... Did you want to say your joke here with the Deep Dwelling? I don't know what you were doing now.
Oh, I was saying that the former Thassa, God of the Sea, could be Thassa Shallow Dwelling. Because
this one's Deep Dwelling.
Yes. All right, moving on.
Thassa Deep Dwelling is 3 of anything in a blue for a 6/5 enchantment god with indestructible. If your devotion to blue is less than 5, Thassa is not a creature. And then at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target creature you control, then return that card to the battlefield under your control. You can also pay 4 to tap another target creature.
And you can also use Strionic Resonator to copy that triggered ability.
Boom. So obviously, like we were saying, anything that flickers, this just gets you extra flicker value.
Yep.
But there was something that while looking up stuff, I learned about Thassa Deep Dwelling. that combos with Master of Waves.
I did not know Master of Waves was a mythic
Oh, okay.
until just now. I knew about the card, but Master of Waves is 3 and a blue for a Merfolk Wizard, 2/1, protection from red. Elemental creatures you control get +1/+1. When Master of Waves enters the battlefield, put a number of 1/0 blue elemental creature tokens onto the battlefield equal to your devotion to blue.
And so this is a really weird interaction because when I first look at this, when Thassa blinks Master of Waves, if Master of Waves isn't on the battlefield, those tokens should die.
Right,
Because there's 1/0s. But
Yes.
in Magic, how state-based actions work is Thassa's whole ability is reading at the beginning of your end step, you exile it, then bring it back. So state-based actions happen after things have resolved. So because this ability and all, you can't have a state-based action resolve in the middle of an ability happening.
I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then that's why Thassa blinks the Master of Waves. Your elementals don't die.
Right.
They stay around, and then you just get a bunch more for coming back in again. So every single turn, you're making however many elementals.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice rules check, Eric.
Nice little combo there. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
Magic can be a complicating game,
Yes. Yes, complicated and expensive, but fun.
but fun.
Yes.
All right, so next up, we have maybe one of my favorite ones on the list here. We went deep for Erebos Blackhearted. So first of all, Blackhearted himself is 3 of anything in a black for a 5/6 enchantment creature god. He's indestructible. Devotion less to black is 5, is not a creature.
Right.
Does have the abilities, whenever another creature you control dies, you may pay 2 life, and if you do, you get to draw a card. And then you can pay 1 of anything in a black to sacrifice another creature, and then target creature gets -2/-1 until end of turn. Like, we care a little bit more about the free card draw, just
Right.
getting life.
Yeah, yeah.
So first off, we have a little zombie synergy that we can have fun with Erebos. So to start it off, we have 3 cards. Viscera Seer, Gravecrawler, and Diregraph Colossus.
Yeah, so Viscera Seer, which is crazy. It's 349 on Card Kingdom right now. It's common.
Ooh,
Yikes.
it's going up.
So, Viscera Seer is 1 black for a 1/1 vampire wizard. You can sacrifice a creature and scry 1, and that's it. Free sacrifice, almost free sacrifice because it costs 1 black, but this card's great.
And then we have the Gravecrawler, which is 1 black for a 2/1 zombie. Gravecrawler can't block. And then you may cast Gravecrawler from your graveyard as long as you control a zombie.
And then we have Diregraph Colossus, which is 2 and a black for a zombie giant, 2/2. Diregraph Colossus enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each zombie card in your graveyard. Whenever you cast a zombie spell, put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield tapped. I see where you're going with this.
Yeah, so now that we have the zombie in play, we can sack Gravecrawler with the Viscera Seer. We can pay 2 life with Erebos to draw a card. We can also scry with the Viscera Seer in between that. And then when Gravecrawler comes back, we also get another zombie from the Diregraph Colossus making a board.
Right.
So now if we want to be able to do this and not worry about mana,
Of course we do.
yes.
Yeah.
We have 2 other cards. So we have Ashnod's Altar,
Yeah, which we just talked about.
which we
But
just talked about.
you also here have a card I've never heard of.
Me neither.
Initiates of the Eben Hand.
Yeah.
It's one, I love the art on this.
It's good.
It's 1 black for a 1/1 cleric. You can pay 1 colorless mana to add a black to your mana pool. If 4 or more is spent in this way during 1 turn, bury Initiates of the Eben Hand at the end of play. This ability, oh my goodness, play this ability as a mana source. I should have read the Oracle text. What am I doing?
So that lets us, because we sack the creature to make 2 colorless mana, and then we can use the Initiates to turn that colorless mana into black mana.
Right.
So we can keep playing the Gravecrawler.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. I like that.
It's a lot of cards, but...
But hey, but you're in black. You can just tutor them all up.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's fine.
You do just have the 1 turn to go off as well, because Initiates... It's cool, because Initiate stays around.
Right. It's at the end. It happens
of
at
turn.
Right. Yeah. You
Yeah.
can keep doing it.
Yeah.
But, you could probably just bring it back.
Anyways.
Anyways,
It's not like it's exiled.
yeah, you're mono black just in your graveyard. That's never stopped us.
Totally. Cool. The only thing I didn't have in there was something to gain you health. But,
Oh yeah,
find ways.
Do whatever you want.
Find ways. Moving on. Next up, we have the Underworld Sentinel. So this guy is 3 of anything and 2 black for a 4/5 skeleton soldier. Whenever Underworld Sentinel attacks, exile target creature card from your graveyard. When Underworld Sentinel dies, put all cards exiled with it onto the battlefield. You can take any creature, like Gravedigger.
Right, Gravedigger is 3 and a black for a 2/2 zombie. When Gravedigger comes into play, you may return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah, and then, so if you attack with Underworld, put Gravedigger under there. If Underworld dies, Gravedigger can come back. You can play the Gravedigger, get the Underworld back, and just loop that.
Right.
Yeah. Or if there's certain cards you want to get out of your graveyard, you can kind of like use Underworld Sentinel to get them back. So.
Yeah, totally. I like it.
Yeah, and you can have multiple Gravedigger type effects as well. So if you have all those in your graveyard, so whenever you attack with the Underworld Sentinel, so you can get a couple under there, and then bring them all back and bring more stuff back from your graveyard. So
right.
It's an interesting way to do some graveyard recursion.
Yeah, no one's gonna get mad at you for comboing. That's what I like about all of these. No one's gonna be like, you know what? I take offense to the way you're playing Magic.
Yeah.
Which seems to keep happening to me. People keep taking offense.
Yeah. I don't like that Atla.
And I'm like, guys, this is just, I thought we were here to have fun. And they're like, no, what you say is fun isn't fun, Kevin. And I'm just like, well, I thought it was subjective. And they're like, get out of here.
What a story. Alrighty. So next up, we have a fun card.
I'm beginning to think you have a penchant for black cards, Eric.
Maybe.
Nothing wrong with that. I love black.
So next up is the Deathbellow Warcry. So this is 5 of anything and 3 red. So it's an 8 mana sorcery. Search your library for up to 4 Minotaur creature cards with different names. Put them onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library.
I remember this card.
Yeah. So it's interesting. The way we're going to use this is we're just going to win the game.
Nice. These are my favorite.
So we have 2 cards to win the game. Liliana's Contract and then Arcane Adaptation.
Liliana's Contract is 3 and 2 black for an enchantment. When Liliana's Contract enters the battlefield, you draw 4 cards and you lose 4 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 4 or more demons with different names, you win the game.
Just win the game. Look at that. But we're getting Minotaurs.
So how does that work?
Yeah. Arcane Adaptation.
All right.
Look at that.
So Arcane Adaptation is 2 and a blue for an enchantment. As Arcane Adaptation enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Demons. Creatures you control are the chosen type in addition to their other types. The same is true for creature spells you control and creature cards you own that aren't on the battlefield. I should throw this into slivers so I can tutor for my creatures that aren't slivers.
There you go. So that's the really cool thing about if we get Arcane Adaptation out, you can actually Deathbellow Warcry for anything.
Yeah.
Huh. Even if you have demons in the deck, you can end up searching for the... No, wait, what? No, I'm wrong. Arcane Adaptation is turning our Minotaurs into demons. So never mind.
Yeah, this isn't going to work.
It doesn't go the opposite way.
Well,
but
thanks for trying.
Yeah, you just have a deck full of Minotaurs, and then Arcane Adaptation, Liliana's Contract, and you win.
Boom, Bob's your uncle.
Yeah,
there you go. Still works.
Still works.
Nice.
You just gotta, because there's a lot of good Minotaurs in Magic.
That's what they said when that new Satyr commander came out for Satyrs.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
All right, next up is a simple combo. So we have Perforos Bronze-Blooded. So again, one of the new gods. This guy is 4 of anything and a red for a enchantment creature god. 7/6 indestructible. Has the same thing with the devotion. If it's less than 5 red, it's not a creature. Other creatures you control have haste. You can pay 2 of anything and a red. You may put a red creature card or an artifact creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. What creature do we decide to put onto the board?
Bearer of Heavens.
Yeah.
Bearer of the Heavens.
Of the Heavens.
Sorry about that. It's 7 and a red for a 10/10 giant. Ooh. When Bearer of the Heavens dies, destroy all permanents at the beginning of the next end step.
Yep.
So you're just gonna have Perforos after that, right?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So obviously you'd want to have other indestructible stuff for when this happens.
Right. Of course.
Of course. If you had the other Perforos in your deck, you just have to play like some creatures to start pinging in damage and stuff. But this is definitely a funny little combo.
That's why I think they should unban Worldfire. It is funny.
Yeah. Like,
That's why they should unban Worldfire. Worldfire's like destroy everything and like everyone's life total goes to 1.
goes to 1.
Something like that. Because then
Yeah.
it's just like, it's just Russian
top stack?
roulette.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And how many decks are actually going to play that card, right?
Exactly.
It's like Biorhythm. How many decks are
many
going
decks
to
are
play
gonna play that?
Biorhythm?
Come on.
Or Coalition Victory.
Yeah.
Come on, we have Thassa's Oracle, but not Coalition Victory? It's ridiculous to me.
The other funny part about how this works is because Perforos says at the beginning of the end step, you sack the creature.
Right.
And Bear of Heaven's trigger is also beginning of the end step, but the beginning of the end step is already passed. So then you sacrifice this, then that trigger goes on the stack. So that's going to happen at the next end step. So the person next to you gets a turn before everything's gone.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Yeah. So it's kind of like they also get to like try.
Hey, you get it one chance.
One chance. But no matter what, everything's going away.
And how much mana do you need to cast Perforos and activate his ability?
8.
Okay. Well, you could get there.
Yeah. Or if you just cast Perforos, like 9 times out of 10, it's probably still going to like survive a round.
Oh, yeah. It's generally going to stick.
Because if you don't have the devotion yet, somebody needs to have like an exile permanent
Or exile.
removal spell.
Artifact or enchantment.
Yeah.
Revoke existence.
Yeah. So those are less common. So next up, we have good old. This was one of my favorite cards from the set, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's making waves.
So it's Underworld Breach. It's 1 red and 1 of anything. For an enchantment, each non-land card in your graveyard has escape. The escape cost is equal to the card's mana cost, plus exile 3 other cards from your graveyard. And at the beginning of the end step, you have to sacrifice Underworld Breach.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Probably not going to need another turn, though.
You shouldn't.
Not if you do this right.
So, and like, this card pretty much synergizes with anything. Because you're playing this, you're going to get to play whatever's in your graveyard.
Yep.
Yeah. One thing we can do, the thing that I talked about was, technically, if you have enough cards in your graveyard, you can make a ton of mana and then just, do something with it. So we have Mana Geyser.
Yeah, Mana Geyser is 3 and 2 red for a sorcery. You can add a red mana to your mana pool for each tapped land your opponents control.
So for every single tapped land, if you have like...
You're netting 10 mana on this a lot of the time when I cast it. If you cast it on 5, there's a good chance there's 15 lands tapped.
So you're netting 10 mana.
Yeah.
And then it's just every 3 cards out of your graveyard would be 10 more mana. So you can just keep doing that. And then you could cast a card, let's say like Comet Storm.
Oh yeah, Comet Storm. What does Comet have? 1M?
Yes.
I was thinking it has 2. I gotta learn how to spell. Comet Storm is X and 2 red for an instant. It has multi-kicker 1, so you may pay an additional 1 any number of times as you cast this spell. Choose target creature or player, then choose another target creature or player for each time Comet Storm was kicked. Comet Storm deals X damage to each of them. I love that Comet Storm is an instant.
This is a really good card.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. It's in a couple of my decks.
Yeah, so you could you could get some people with this.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, the cool thing is that if you're running like a spells deck, if you keep netting mana, and then if you have like a counter spell in your graveyard, you can also escape that using Underworld Breach. So you have like counter protection as well if there's a counter spell in your graveyard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's super good stuff.
Yeah, you just have to have those cards in your graveyard.
Yeah.
That's all you
You
got to
can
do.
just cast them however many times you want if you have the fodder to exile.
Right.
What a strong card.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
I think also now is if you're interested in that card, I think the price is good. I think it was around $10 when the set launched.
Yeah, unless
it's down to $5 Canadian at the moment. So
unless like somebody figures out a way to break it in a format like Modern,
yeah,
and then it gets banned, and then the price is gonna be real good.
Oh, that's true. That could happen.
But
I think like
even at $5, that's a good price, and I think that's unlikely that it would be that ubiquitous that it would
I think
need to be
so.
banned.
Because like off the top of my head, the one thing I think it fits right into would be like Storm.
Right.
And Storm already has ways of doing this. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like an extra, Past in Flames or something.
Right, and then the deck is still doing largely the same
thing.
It's just maybe more consistent or something.
Something, yeah. So I don't think there's a way to break the card. I think it is just like pretty good value.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I put a copy into my Duretti deck.
Oh, sweet.
And I haven't actually drawn it or used it, but there's so many cards that Duretti can't get. Like, the deck is mostly artifacts, but there are instants and sorceries and lands that, especially lands that over the course of a game I don't need, so I can use them to escape and cast other instants and sorceries.
And stuff, so getting cards back.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking when I put it in there.
Super good, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we have one left, and this is a gold card. So I threw Devourer of Memory in here. This is a blue and a black for a 2/1 creature nightmare. Whenever one or more cards are put into your opponent's graveyard whenever one or more cards are put into your graveyard from your library, Devourer of Memory gets +1/+1 until end of turn, and can't be blocked this turn. You can pay one of anything, a blue and a black, to put the top card of your library in your graveyard, so you can kind of like activate itself. But if we have things that can trigger that, we can kind of have some fun. So I talked about this one because there's a little standard combo that you can kind of do, which seems kind of fun. So we have two cards. We have Timuret Calls the Dead.
Yeah, Timuret Calls the Dead is 2 and a black for an enchantment saga. Its first and second stage are both put the top 3 cards of your library into your graveyard. Then you may exile a creature or enchantment card from your graveyard. If you do, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token, and its third stage is you gain X life and scry X, where X is the number of zombies you control.
And then the other card is Protein Thaumaturge. I think that's how you say that.
I think you're right. Protein Thaumaturge is 1 and a blue for a 1/1 human wizard. It has Constellation, so whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Protein Thaumaturge become a copy of another target creature, except it has this ability.
So we have the Devourer out, and then we have the Protein out, and if you play Timuret, then you can have Protein become a copy of the Devourer, and then Timuret's the turn you play it will put cards in the graveyard, triggering both your Devourers because Protein has become a copy of Devourer. And then they're getting pumped. They're unblockable. Protein's going to trigger or Timuret triggers for free again on your next turn as well.
Right. Yeah.
So you have like a little blue-black unblockable creatures. Then you'll have 8 copies of the Devourer in your deck because you have 4 Proteins, 4 Devourers.
Right.
So
I like that value.
Yeah, seems pretty neat. I'm gonna try playing it. I haven't done it yet, but
well, yeah. Let me know what happens. Yeah, great list, man. This was a lot of fun.
Cool. Yeah. It was a lot of fun finding this stuff, and there's some fun combos.
Yes, I especially liked the interaction with Master of Waves and the Blink. That was very
super interesting as well.
I love stuff like that makes it feel like this seems like it shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, that's how it works.
That's just how it works in Magic.
Yeah. And that's, for reasons like that, that's why this is the best game.
Oh, hands down. Yeah. I think like of games out there, like yeah.
It's the best. I like other games, but come on.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, we very much hope that you enjoyed this as much as we did. This little bonus episode we did for you. Feel free to let us know if you've encountered any fun synergies or combos with Theros Beyond Death.
Yeah, any new cards, anything that pops up, or if you end up trying out one of these, let us know. See if you have fun with it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you all so much for listening. You can, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that on Instagram, or you can email us at turn1soaringthepodcast@gmail.com, or on Instagram at turn1soaringthepodcast. Also, check out our February giveaway, which is just about to end, and we're doing a Theros Collector's Booster and the Allied Signets.
Yes.
And they're foil. And they're full art. And they're custom. They're proxies, so they're not real cards.
But they look real nice.
They do look real nice, yes. They're beautiful cards. That's going to do it for us. And we'll talk to you very soon. We'll talk to you on Monday.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much.
Bye now.
Bye.
Turn one soul ring.